she needed to do or is trying to do. What we're saying is we're taking a look at a situation that for years has gone by without getting the proper look. I mean, no one is paying attention to them.
Yeah.
We're not doing it the way it should be done. And so what we're talking about here is we've got an emergent problem that we have to deal with right now, and then we look at doing it the right way for the long term.
Well, and one of the things that's happened, and you can see, Sandy, bless your heart, Sandy has done this for 13 years, and you can see how independent she is. And she's Sandy, you've got to say, I want some pins and I want
Well,
some
yeah,
help.
I mean, that's what I
I
brought
know.
the proposal.
I
If I
know.
could get some help, then that would help the sheriff.
And
you
the
know,
point
plus-
is that Sandy has worked so hard and tried to do it all, and everybody's just said, well, Sandy's got care of it, it's okay. And the Humane Society has come along, and we've spayed and neutered our hearts out, and we've fostered our hearts out, and we've got our building, and we're trying to do more with clinics, and we're housing some cats, and we've worked, and we've all just kind of made it seem like everything was okay. Thank God Sandy gave up the humane officer thing, and the sheriff went, holy cow, you know, my God, there's a huge problem out here, and you guys are here and you're listening. Because for a long time, it felt like, well, maybe people weren't listening, or maybe everybody thought everything was okay. Everything's not okay, and we need to fix it.
We need to start with the process because that's the first step that's wrong.
The process.
Processes and how we're doing it. There is so much confusion over who's got what responsibility, where the process takes you from step to step, because everybody has just kind of left it to someone else.
Is there the process would improve, or it would be clearer on how to establish the processes if we did have better facilities and more personnel?
I think if we start with facilities, the right personnel, and put someone representing the county in charge to make sure it works the way it's supposed to be, and then utilizing all the volunteers and this other help that we have in the county, I think it can work very smoothly. I think the problem is we're just going to have to step up, you know, and address it face to face. At this point, I think it's just kind of one of those things that just continues to go on and bubbles up occasionally, but you know, it always kind of settles down and we continue to march on, and we haven't addressed it. And the problem is much bigger than anything we're looking at.
And I might also mention that someone else here mentioned earlier, I never thought about this because I'm just not thinking ahead very far, but fall is here, winter's coming. So the seasons are going to make this, they're going to compound this problem.
It does every winter. I mean, that's when I get hit with the livestock, is in the winter. Because they can't, you know, find hay, they can't afford hay. That usually the winter time's my worst, especially with the livestock. I mean, I've had up to 12 horses at one time that's come in on me. And I've handled them. It's been rough, but I've done it. You know, and I'm not saying, I've just been hearing, there's been a lot of things that's been coming to me that I'm not doing my job, that I'm putting animals, taking animals out of a bad situation, I'm putting them into a worse situation. You know, I'm tired of hearing all this. It's like everybody's attacking me, saying I'm not doing my job, and I don't care. But I do. I'm doing the best I can, but I can't do it by myself anymore. This year, when I started out in this job in '96, I was taking in over 1,500 animals a year. I have got it down to like 500 a year now. Okay, this year alone, I have been getting slammed. It is non-stop. I mean, it's not just with the strays, but I've got people, owners coming to me. You know, we've got 10, 15 dogs. We need to, you know, lower our dog food bill. We can't afford to feed them. They're bringing me 5 and 10 dogs in at a time. Me and Jamie are working around the clock. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning on the computer trying to get rescues, and I'm doing transports every other weekend, getting animals out of here while I'm running through the week, plus doing animal control, plus trying to take care of the animals at the shelter. And I have no time off whatsoever. That's why I had to step down a little bit, because I was completely burnt out. It was either me step down or I wouldn't be here at all.
Ms. Mallett, do you think we need an animal shelter as proposed by
We do need a county facility that...
Would that replace your work?
No, it still wouldn't replace me, because I'm going to operate regardless. I've started my own rescue, so I'm going to operate regardless, you know, whether you get a shelter up or not, that's not gonna put me out of what I've been doing for all my, I've dedicated my life to.
I'd
Well, I
like to
understand that,
add to
but
that a minute. Part of what I envision is that there would be a shelter, but
Mhm.
I actually never thought that that would eliminate the need for animal control facility in the north where you are,
Yes.
and maybe even another one in the county.
Yes, that's something, we talked about when, Sheriff Janice was running for office, when he was at my place. Like he said, we need kinda like,
But it's separate.
you know,
separate purpose
me
now.
do mine, or, keep mine, but we also need another one, in a centrally located area to help. I'll tell you right now, I don't know if you've been paying attention to my reports or not, but 90% of the animals are from this end of the county. The humane calls, all those calls are from this end of the county. And I know at least 80% are from down here. I do not have very many problems up at the upper end. I don't know if it's because I'm there. I live up there and people know that I watch and I see, when I go through and, they pay a little bit more attention. But it hurts me, for instance, the last Pocahontas Times that came out, when it said that I had resigned from humane officer because I had no more room. I have gotten phone calls. Have you quit? Are you not taking animals? I mean,
That's-
I had people,
that's why
local
I'm trying
people
to-
supporting me here in the community that was gathering up towels for me, gathering dog food, cat litter. And it just all quit because they think that I've quit taking in stray animals.
That's why I'm trying to make clear the distinction between humane officer
Yes.
as an appointed position and animal control officer, which are still fully doing.
Yes, yes. And I'm doing every day. I've got a whole truckload to pick up again today.
Well, I don't, what is the designation then for the shelter? What is that? Controlled, humane, both, or what is?
Well, yes,
that?
because what happens is, on a humane case, when you go out and do a seizure, okay, you have to give them a written notice that you're seizing the animal. They have 5 days to, to go to the magistrate and request a hearing to say whether or not they're guilty or not guilty. They have to prove, we have to prove that they are guilty, and they have to prove that they're not. And I got in with that horse case. We housed horses for almost 5 years before we got all of them finally figured out. Some of them had to go to Jordan, and I was at 1:30 in the morning walking horses out a dark road with a flashlight trying to get them loaded on a truck that come out of, transporter that come out of Canada to get them back to where they needed to go. I mean, this is, I was in a lawsuit for $50 million, and Rita can verify, I had my stuff together. Is the only reason why the county did not get sued that time, is because I worked hard. I had all my stuff documented. I done investigating that kept that from happening.
What year did we go to?
We found federal court ended in 2003 or 4.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 5 years.
Sandy's paperwork was in a row, otherwise, she had to identify owners, and literally, we were exporting horses
Yes,
to find the owners.
and I done that on my own. I mean, I worked nonstop.
Well,
Yeah.
Sandy, we had a part in that too. We
Yeah.
got sued too. Don't forget us.
Yeah, but they let you off.
You guys got out.
You guys
pretty
got
soon.
out of it. Me, I had to
We
go
were
all the way through.
All right, but we helped identify that stuff, and we found
Yes.
homes for horses, so you weren't
Let me come
alone.
back if I
I'd like-
can for the